Well, what I'm going to do now is show you some brief illustrations of some of the characters that I sketched out at the time I was writing this, to give you an idea of what some of the characters will appear in the film and how they will appear. Now again, this is Matlock, the demon that sits on mankind's shoulders. And that's a side profile, you know, front profile. And he's the guy that sits on mankind's shoulders and influences their minds and pretty much controls them from the already embedded evil. The next one is Amy, the she-demon. Now this is her demon form. She's also got a human form, which is she's very beautiful and alluring. But this is her demon form. And the thing about it, Will Box Unicorn is the only one that can see her true form. Everyone else sees her as a beautiful woman. But after Box activates his gatekeeping powers, he can actually see the demons, but no one else can. That's another thing that I wanted to install in the story when I first originally wrote it. And this was an early concept drawing of Stephen Powers in his demon form. You know, just a particular skull with a long coat and a sword. But as a lot of this stuff had already been done in movies, I said, well, maybe I just change that if the thing ever come to production. But I'm gonna skip to another act and read a little bit more to you in order to give, hopefully, if anyone interested in it, it'll give more insight on some of the characters. And I'm gonna skip on ahead to, let's see. Let's skip over to Act 2. Now this scene takes place after they sit in bed and talk for a while, and then Vox, who is a publisher of magazines and books, and Jill, his wife, she's a high-powered lawyer. So now they're in bed, about to go to sleep, and the scene takes place, Act 2, and this has to set up. At that moment, Jill sat up in bed, filled with concern, and said, "Don't stay out too long." Will gave no reply as he slowly walked over to the glass door that led outside. He slid open the door and went out onto the beach. He closed the glass door behind himself and proceeded up the beach. Will walked up the beach while his thoughts were filled with uneasiness and confusion. There was a clap of thunder off in the background as Will continued to proceed up the beach. Lightning filled the night skies as Will came to a bench that was near the water. He sat down on the bench and looked out across the water. Little did Will Vox Unicorn know that his life was about to be changed forever. Back at the house, Jill was getting worried about Will being out so long. She got up from the bed and walked over to the glass door and looked out. At that same moment, lightning flashed across the night sky. Then Jill said to herself, "Looks like a storm's coming in. Where is he?" Jill then slid open the glass door and stepped out onto the beach. She looked down the beach and then up the beach. The wind began to blow across the beach as Jill slowly walked up the beach. Jill then saw Will sitting on a bench near the water. Jill called aloud to Will and said, "Will, Will." Will answered aloud, "Yeah?" Then Jill loudly said, "A storm's coming in. You better come inside." "I'll be there in a minute," he replied. The lightning was getting worse as Will slowly walked back down, as Will slowly walked back towards the house. Then suddenly Will was struck by lightning. Jill saw him getting hit by the lightning. She stood and stared in disbelief. She screamed aloud in panic at what she had seen. Jill then quickly ran to, reread that. Jill then quickly ran to Will as he lay face down on the ground. Jill was crying as she knelt down on her knees and put her arms around Will's chest from the back of him. Vox, no, baby, don't do this. Please don't do this. Jill was crying and continued and said, I'll get help. Jill rolled Will over on his back to keep him from suffocating on the beach sand. Will lay there upon the ground, unconscious, while Will lay there upon the ground unconscious, while Jill quickly ran back down the beach and into the house. She quickly picked up the telephone and dialed 911. Now we'll skip on down and go to another act. Now, the screenplay is pretty detailed. But the reason I'm skipping around because a lot of it's a lot of lines are written out, clearly understandable. A lot of the directions are there too. And I want to skip to the next one. This is after the ambulance coming and put Will in the ambulance and to take him to the hospital. And now he's in the hospital. And this is Act 4. And it begins. In the meanwhile, Will slept quietly in his hospital room. As he slept, he began to dream a vision. He dreamed of a field of energy with lightning flashing around and about the field. Then suddenly, it was like he became a part of the dream vision. Will slowly walked across the field of energy. There was a clap of thunder far off in the background as Will approached a stairway that led up to a powerful light entity. The light entity hovered above the stairway. Will stopped and looked upon the stairway as lightning and energy flashed around about the stairway. Then a loud voice came from the light entity and said, Vox Unicorn. Will answered, Yes. Voice from light entity, come near. Then Will asked, Who are you? Voice from light entity replied, Come near. Am I dead? Voice from light entity replied, Come near. Then Will proceeded up the stairway. He stopped at the top step and stood before the light entity. Then Will asked again, Am I dead? Voice from light entity replied, No. Will asked, Are you God? Voice from light entity replied, No. At that moment there was a clap of thunder around and about the stairway. Then the shape of a face appeared within the light entity. Then a voice like thunder came from the light entity and said, Looking through the light, all your life you have asked, Who am I? Your questions will be answered. Will asked, Then who am I? You are a gatekeeper. Of what? Of the neither world, a prison for the evil ones, a place where the demons are imprisoned. Why am I here? To bring back 3 demons who escaped from the neither world. Why me? Because you believe in the things that are unseen. The unseen forces of your world are more powerful than you think. What if I say no and walk away? Then there was Another clap of thunder around the stairway that led up to the light entity. Voice from light entity replied, "You may say no, but now that you have seen me, they can see you, and you can see them." Then Will asked, "Will they come after me?" "Yes," replied the light entity. "Why?" "You are a threat to them." "How do they know of me?" "They know you will be the next gatekeeper. Every year a new gatekeeper is selected, but this time something went wrong." "What happened?" The last gatekeeper was seduced by the demon and led astray. Now he's one of them." Then the voice from the light entity warned Will about the three demons. Beware, gatekeeper. Don't let them deceive you. They will use mistakes from your past to try and stop you now in the present. You are the only one who can see their true form, no one else. And I'll leave it right there for right now. But again, it's called The Gatekeeper. It's a screenplay that I originally wrote back in 1995. I had a revived version written again in 2008 because I updated it and made it more modern, hoping that I can get that in sale. I got a copyright on it. It still stands. And now I'm presenting it to hopefully some producers and movie makers who want to see something different, something new and fresh, and from a different perspective. So there it is, The Gatekeeper. I think it will make a very good internet movie or cable movie or TV movie, because it got some great elements in it. It got some great characters. I mean, these are not the only characters you're gonna meet. You're gonna actually meet Stephen Powers. You're gonna meet Madlock the Demon, that sits on mankind's shoulders, as well as a lot of other interesting characters. And you'll get to know Jill a lot more. That's Will Vox Unicorn's wife. And it's a good story, original. I am the copyright holder and owner. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I can get some producers and some movie makers interested in this film. Thanks again. My name is Willie Easter Jr., and this is Easter Dead Dream Films and Books. Peace.